Hello, Alex Tsushiyama back again with the next 5 battles from the Pokemon Global Link 2013 Winter Friendly Tournament. That took place in February. Yeah. These 5 battles constitute the first 5 battles I completed on the the 3rd day of competition. Yeah. So, the Sunday of that weekend. So, first up is this team. I think that everyone will be surprised, I was surprised at the end result of this as well, so let's just get going. That's an interesting name. I don't know. Whatever. Now you've all seen this before, these same 3 Pokemon leading the party all the damn time. And this guy's from, like, somebody could comment on what language that is, what language version this guy's playing, because I don't. It looks like maybe Portuguese or Spanish, but whatever. So, switching to Melodic to Ice Beam or Surf or something, and this guy gets off the Leaf Storm that I really wasn't expecting. Oh yeah, I went for Ice Beam because it'd be neutral against that guy, but yeah. Leaf Storm almost knocks Melodic out in one shot. I'm really lucky that it didn't. Also, Sceptile are really damn fast. And Leaf Blade is a high crit attack, critical hit knocks out Espeon, and I'm forced into Staraptor, which intimidates. I'm not sure why I didn't go to Scizor there to Bullet Punch and win, get that thing out of there, but this is when I decide to switch and Bullet Punch, when this guy goes to his Ononkusu, or Haxorus, whatever language you're speaking. And Dragon Claw does very little. I decide to stay in on Scizor for no good reason. No, I don't stay in on Scizor. Instead, Staraptor faints to what I believe is a critical flamethrower coming up right now. No, it wasn't critical, but it was powerful enough that it fainted Staraptor. So, now I'm just trying to salvage this and faint something. Bullet Punch doesn't do very much to Charizard. Flamethrower will certainly knock out a Scizor. And Melodic has demonstrated that it's slower than pretty much everything this guy brought. So I think I was going to go for Recover here, just so I might be able to have some survivability, but at that range, Melodic's not going to live any hit, and I lose this first battle against a bunch of stuff that I really should not have lost to. I made a lot of misplays. Ugh. A lot of misplays. All the misplays. Oh well. So that was a great way to start off that day. Once again losing. And oh boy, Kyogre. I wonder how this battle went. Actually, it went better than the last time I saw Kyogre. As we'll see in a few seconds, if I remember to trim the clips well. Yeah. Kyogre, Haxorus, Jolteon, standard fare. Shiny Haxorus, that Kyogre was caught in a net ball, meaning that Rob, wow, no. Actually, yeah, no, it's probably from Generation 3 or 4. Anyway, Drizzle goes up, and I'm fearing the worst from a Water Spout Kyogre again. So I decided to just get some damage on it right away and Bullet Punch. But this guy decides to go to Jolteon. Bullet Punch does about half damage. Thunder never misses in the rain. And it takes Scizor down quite a bit. Now I hedge my bets on Espeon being faster than Jolteon. And you can see I am clearly not faster than him. And it almost takes Espeon down. So I went for the Psyshock, and it does faint the Jolteon, which is good. However, Life Orb Recoil almost faints Espeon. I think it's living on with like 1 HP, and I never bothered to check. So, he gets a lucky prediction with Energy Ball. As I go to Toxic, whatever he switches to, which happens to be his Alakazam. So, yeah. Not much to say at this point. I switch back to Scizor to do some more Bullet Punch action. It takes Haxorus down pretty far, not quite making it, not quite into the red. But Outrage is going to faint Scizor from that range despite the resistance, which kind of sucks. But once again, I get the Staraptor on a physical attacker, which is pretty nice. Although it didn't do me any good against that Sceptile last game. Staraptor's faster, and it gets the return off fainting Haxorus. I gotta say that Haxorus' shiny sprite is really cool. This Alakazam that uses a Psychic Gem boosted Psychic, which is a really original attack, and it faints Staraptor, which is not good. Toxic damage continues to rack up. It auto-rotates me to Melodic. I decide to gamble on being faster than Alakazam and heal. I actually forgot that the rain was up since it wasn't making a difference. So, yeah. Psychic, despite the resist, faints Espeon. I really should have gone for an attack there, but I forgot about the rain, and that's why I made that misplay. So then, Alakazam. I don't know why it's still using Psychic. Could have used Grass Knot or Energy Ball there. But Surf is going to hit up against Alakazam's Frail, and it's a crit. But faints Alakazam. And then what I've got left is a pretty highly damaged Melodic against a full HP Kyogre. This didn't end too well for me, especially since Kyogre outspeeds. And Melodic faints. Ugh. At least this was a somewhat fair battle. I probably would have won that if I hadn't made a couple of those misplays, like the Morning Sun thing. But oh well. That was actually a good game, unlike the last one where I absolutely screwed everything up. But that's 2 losses so far this video. 2 losses on this day. And this is the 3rd battle. That is... not entirely sure what I was expecting against this party, but as you can see, or as you could see from that screen, instead of bringing my Staraptor like I usually do when I lead with these 3, I actually brought my Gengar. So we've got classic Battle of the Titans, Umbreon versus Espeon type stuff going on here. I rotate to Scizor to get the Bullet Punch off, which was once again kind of... no, I U-turn because Dark types. And that was actually kind of a good move and kind of a dumb one. Oh no. That was actually a really good move because if I had stayed in on Espeon, the Magic Bounce would have reflected the Toxic, and then because that Umbreon probably had Synchronized, it would have gotten Toxic on Espeon anyway. So, that was actually a good move on my part. I decided that most of his stuff is weak to electric type attacks, so I decide to use a Thunderbolt. He's got Psycho Cut boosted by a Psychic Gem. That takes Gengar down 1 shot, unfortunately. But it drops me back into Scizor. I have Grass Knot on my Espeon to deal with Braulio. And I've got Melodic to deal with much everything else. Drain Punch is pretty decent. It does some decent hit. I go for the surf, hoping that he won't switch. It doesn't do much. So I changed my tactics and decided to go for the Psyshock. I should have gone for the Shadow Ball, but that doesn't really matter because Psyshock fates it anyway. He gets auto-rotated to his Feraligatr. I decide to go back to Melodic and leave Toxic. Yeah. And for some reason, Toxic Causes is not counted as a damaging attack. Well, okay, of course it's not counted as a damaging attack, but it's not counted as an attack that triggers Sucker Punch. So that was cool. Sucker Punch off of that thing probably would hurt. So, Scizor obviously goes for the Bullet Punch. It takes Honchkrow almost all the way down. Rocky Helmet hurts. It Brave Birds to essentially kill itself, although I know this guy probably wasn't planning that. It almost feints Scizor, not quite. But the recoil feints the Honchkrow, and this guy's left with a Feraligatr. And like I said, I finish it up with a Grass Knot. Well, I don't finish it on this turn, but a Grass Knot does bring it down to pretty low health. Then it EQs. And that almost feints Espeon, and I decide not to risk anything and just go for the sure thing Bullet Punch. So yeah, it was kind of refreshing to actually win a battle on that far. So currently sitting at 2 losses and 1 win so far this video, and it was a relatively decent battle. So 4th battle of the video coming up. All legendaries. All but 1 are Ubers. I did not do too well here. I don't have too good of a track record against either Genesect or Kyogre. I have to convince both of them. And that name's pretty interesting. I don't know if that's some guy who's YouTube famous or not. I really don't care. Anyway, he leads with that stuff. I lead with my standard. Download raises Genesect's physical attack. So we both decide to rotate. He actually goes for Spatial Rend, which is actually not too bad of a move. It's not nearly as bad as Roar of Time. Mostly because this is just Aero Blast and not Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is terrible. Get the Toxic off on Palkia. I think I was actually predicted the switch, because otherwise that would have done absolutely nothing if he'd stayed in on Genesect. But whatever. And then I decide... I don't remember what I did. But Melodic feints off the Earthquake, so I really don't remember what I was going to do. Which is kind of bad. Stupid. Sauce. And then, once again, I brought Gengar instead of something else this time. Go to Espeon to, I believe, Psyshock. But Genesect is faster. Iron Head either feints or flinches. Yeah, it flinches and then leaves me at very low HP. And then it just Iron Heads again. I'm almost guessing that this thing was Scarfed, maybe? I might be proven wrong in a later turn if it uses something other than Iron Head. But I've kind of got no choice but to Bullet Punch at this point. And it doesn't do too bad of damage. But yeah. At least with Bullet Punch I can't get flinched. And because this is a Choice Banded Scizor, I'm locked into Bullet Punch. So, once again, it doesn't do too bad of damage on the Palkia. But that's a pretty powerful Staff Surf coming off that thing. Scizor's not going to deal with that too well. Especially not a crit. Scizor feints. And then the only thing Espeon can do on this turn, other than die, is Morning Sun. And that's obviously not happening. Ironhead finishes me off. 3 losses, 1 win thus far this video. That's really disappointing. I never even saw that Kyogre. I really just don't like Genesect. Also, if anyone can guess the nickname of my Scizor in the comments, you'll get nothing, but it'll prove that you've seen some of my other videos that haven't been a Pokemon Global Link or a random matchup. Which is really just one other video. Well, one other video and then the 2 that were done off the webcam, but those kind of stuff. Anyway, back to the fight. Got somebody who's doing Groudon wrong. Got a shiny Charizard. I think this guy's mostly here to show off the shiny Charizard. I was changing things up. I did not lead with my Scizor. Luckily this guy didn't switch and I get to U-turn freely. This is an Expert Belt Staraptor, so yeah. I was kind of hoping that would have fainted the Mewtwo, but no dice. Actually, I didn't bring my Scizor at all to this one. It's got Gengar, Staraptor, and other stuff. So he goes back into his goes to his Groudon. So he doesn't have Sun support at all. It's not leading with it. And and this guy, not only is he running a Solar Beam Groudon, but he didn't lead with it. That gives me just enough time to not die and to, deal with it. So yeah, that Groudon didn't do much of anything. It didn't set up Sun, it didn't set up its weather, and it didn't actually get on attack. And then I actually think this guy used Power Herb Skull Bash at some point. Because, yeah, this guy used Power Herb Skull Bash. I don't know why. Oh, no, he didn't even use Power Herb Skull Bash. He just used Skull Dash. Ugh. So, once again, the second Pokemon to use a time delay move also faints in one shot. Go back to Espeon. Now it uses me first, which is something I was really not expecting, and also something I kind of would have hoped that Magic Bounce would have reflected, but it uses Shadow Ball off of me first. It faints Espeon. No big deal. So then, get forced back to Staraptor, get the Intimidate off. Then at this point, I don't know, he went to his Charizard, and somehow I predicted that. Heat Wave it would have been nice to get a Heat Wave burn on the Staraptor. But I go for the Surf. I believe that it does one-shot the Charizard. No, it almost one-shot the Charizard, but and then, once again, another time delay move. This time it's one where I actually can't hit him, which sucks. So anyway, he used Fly. It does a decent amount of damage to Melodic, but it puts him back onto the battlefield for Surf. Surf finishes off the Charizard. All this guy's got left is a pretty weakened Mewtwo. Facing down almost my entire party. Now once again he uses me first, but because I Surf, and because... yeah. So it uses Surf on me because of me first. Which is a move that is actually kind of interesting, but really wouldn't work too well competitively at all, because it depends on what your opponent's running. And you never want to do that. So Surf takes him down to very low health. It has Recover. It pisses me off. Because it's really just prolonging the battle at this point. So I decided to Toxicate, just to... I was going to Toxicate, let poison damage kill it off during between turns, but nope, it's got Recover. So, yeah. It keeps using Recover. It's really trying to Mewtwo stall out my entire team when it has Toxic. Honestly, I would not have faulted this guy had he surrendered. Because there's 2 minutes left of this video. And only about maybe 20 to 30 seconds of that is watching is the ending, waiting to play the video against her. Once again, Mewtwo's Surf is less devastating than Melodic Surf. The Melodic has a really high special defense. Takes Mewtwo back down to the yellow. Toxic damage happens. It recovers again. And I'm kind of wondering why I'm not using Shadow Ball, except that thing has me first and I can't ever trust it. And for some reason I decided to use Ice Beam just for kicks. I don't know why. That toxic damage is really racking up. Eventually, it will outpace recovery. Which is one of the cool things about toxic when you're using it, not when it's used against you. I honestly don't know why I'm using Ice Beam. And it keeps doing this whole recover me first dance thing that is kind of annoying. It's stally. And I would have kicked something had that me firsted Ice Beam frozen Melodic. That would have just been BS. But anyway, Ice Beam finishes off. I win. Two wins, 3 losses this video. Comment, rate, or like, subscribe, tell me how I'm doing. Tell your friends about it. See ya!